welcome, students, to another fabulous episode of Manhood Academy Debates. The opponent here is Lil Hood Rat. Is there something you would like to go by, or something you'd like to me to refer you to during the debate?
Yeah, you can go ahead and call me Jen.
Jen. Okay, I'll just call you Jen. You can call me Plum, Hey You, or whatever you fancy. I'm not really too concerned. This is, again, as we're starting this out, we want to let everybody know that this is being recorded. Jen, do we have your permission to record this debate? And we will post it live, unedited, of course, other than just changing the voices. We will just keep it as is.
I will be fine as long as my voice is disguised.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome everybody to another debate. And what are we debating? Let's get right to it. Moderator, you want to go ahead and ask Jen about the debate? Is the moderator ready? Moderator.
Yeah, I'm ready here. So we are debating.
I thought you were going to introduce yourself, moderator.
All right, I am Blue. I'll be the moderator for this evening's debate.
Oh, sweet.
We are discussing the topic of, I believe it's the rape case in India. Am I right, Jen?
Which one? There have been several.
There we go. Sorry, my webcam stinks.
There have been several debate. Oh, we're going on camera. Me and you. Woo! We're going toe to toe. Can I bring my noob chucks to the debate, just in case?
That's awesome. Oh. I don't have any weapons.
Well, but sometimes I get worked up. You ever seen A Few Good Men where Tom Cruise carries his baseball bat while he's thinking about the case?
Yes.
This is my version of that.
That's awesome.
Okay. Blue, there's several rape cases that are currently in the news, so I'm not even sure which one you're referring to, but we could take any one, really. I think the same kind of logistics apply, regardless of whether we're talking about...
No, the reason I got involved in this is it was one particular case, actually.
Right, but do you realize that there's been several rape cases as of late in the news, all in India?
I do. The way I got here today is because of one particular case and one particular thing that was brought up on Reddit.
Okay, let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Do you want us to link to that thing? You want to actually read it? We can read it word for word, or how would... There's a little chat thing right here if you want to click the link. If you have the link, we could actually read what the contention was directly, or if you want to just summarize, that's up to you.
I can summarize it
really
quickly.
Go ahead.
But basically, it was the article about the father who had released his daughter's name.
Oh, right. I remember that one. Some 9-year-old or 10-year-old girl got raped by 5 guys or something along those lines?
I think she was older. It was on the bus.
13,
she was
something
with
like that.
Her companion.
Okay.
Who has come out to be her fiancé.
Oh, it's come out well, that's not what he reported, though. Or at least what I read in the news that was reported. I don't know if it's even relevant, but who cares? Go ahead.
Well, the reason I responded back to whomever is a member of your community was basically about y'all's belief that it's the fault of feminists, that we create a rape culture by demonizing male sexuality.
Right.
And so that was where I started getting feisty.
Oh, sweet. What did you respond with?
Oh, good God.
it was that bad. Well, you can say it, paraphrase it, use euphemisms, whatever way you want to say it. Okay, go ahead.
I did some research. After reading a little bit about you guys, I did come to the understanding that a lot of times y'all do blame this on single-family homes,
Not single-family homes. Single mothers.
Single mothers.
Yes.
Correct. And to an extent, yes, you're correct.
Oh, sweet. We won the debate. Oh, do you want to call it? This is record time. This has only been about 4 minutes in. Blue, do you want to... Did she tap out? Is that official?
I did not tap out.
Okay, I'm kidding you. Sorry, keep going. Sorry.
No. It's quite all right. But... Yes, but there's also the same correlation between poverty and crime.
Poverty and crime, okay. So if you're poor, you're going to commit crime.
Same as being in a house where you're raised by just a single mother.
So single mother or poverty, this is what you're contending leads to crime?
Right, so let me just clarify your point. So your point is that it's not single mothers who raise criminals. It's the fact that it's poverty. It's their living condition which drive them to commit crime.
Well, there's a correlation, but a correlation doesn't necessarily mean that it is
causation.
A fact.
Right.
So are you saying...
So you're contending that correlation doesn't equal causation?
Correct, yes.
Okay, all right. And what was your contention? Why are we debating? I want to hear the argument. What did you have what trouble did you have with the argument?
I just thought it was kind of... The forum that I'd seen your argument on last night, and for this to come up, it almost looked like y'all were more spamming this article than anything.
What were you originally contending against? What argument was presented that you said, that's wrong, here's my response?
Honestly, I was invited to come here.
I know, but you were invited obviously because you disagreed. You obviously... No, you wouldn't be invited here if you weren't disagreeing.
the thing I disagreed with was the fact that...
Can we get to your original argument? Because that would make it a lot clearer. If we saw you linked to your argument or you told us your argument.
I can get it, because I did delete the comments because I just tried to...
You can copy and paste it into this chat window.
I can check.
Perfect. We'll read your words. Check. Or you can even paraphrase it. But obviously you're here because you disagreed with the position that what feminism is doing is creating a rape culture, such as what is being experienced in India, which is causing the problems that we're seeing today.
Right. It just wasn't very relevant to the particular topic that had been brought up. Hey, hang on one second. I'll be more than happy to link you to it.
Okay. Wasn't relevant to what extent? Because I think it's very relevant. That's why I posted it. So I don't know why you're saying it's not relevant.
Well, the only reason being is the article in question had to deal with the father releasing her name.
Right. But the bigger issue was not just the name, but people were symbolically saying the name is kind of like indicative of women standing up and not being ashamed of being raped. As some of those cultures over there are prone to, like, shame women for sexual misconduct or whatnot, or even being involved in some sexual issue. So this father was like, well, we're not going to let our daughter be under shame. We're going to say her name. And I think maybe even if they didn't take it that way, if the family didn't intend it that way, that's the way the general public took it, as, hey, stand up for rape victims, etc. Because typically, as you know, the policy is not to release so-called victims' names or rape or people who have been maybe have accused somebody of a rape or of a sexual crime of that nature. If people are a victim of that crime, they generally don't release the name.
I understand that, and I'm sure that this whole family being as traumatized as they are about having to, deal with the death and the rape of their daughter and sister, maybe they're not thinking rationally. I understand that the case in Ohio right now, they have not released that girl's name.
Right.
And I can understand that. It's a legal process they're going through right now. There's no need for them to... It's like any legal process. There's only so much they can say.
Right, but it's whether they release the name or not, that's not even a relevant issue. The real issue is the rape culture, because nobody really cares about the name. I mean, the name is kind of saying she's a victim, her identity shouldn't be released because she's a victim. But the larger issue is, why are there rape victims? Why do we have a so-called rape culture? Because everybody's now saying, oh, it's not safe for women in India, etc. But they're completely ignoring the problem that feminists and feminism are creating. They're creating this rape culture. The reason why girls are being brutalized and raped is because of feminism. So it's kind of hypocritical and absurd for feminists to become self-righteously indignant over men behaving like dogs or monsters when they're creating this culture. I mean, it's the single mothers raising these rapists. It's the demonization of a necessity. It's the demonization of male sexuality, of the male libido, that causes men to even behave this way in the first place.
Okay, well, hang on. First, nobody knows any background about this particular case and these gentlemen who, brutalized this woman. Nobody really knows their statistics.
Right.
So, in this case, it's probably a little bit unfair to go ahead and say they're all raised in single
Well, we're not talking about, I think it's unfair to just talk about one case, because in one case you could say, this guy was raised by a mother and a father, so obviously not a single mother, so it wouldn't stand, the argument wouldn't stand.
And also...
To an extent, 1 in 3 children in the U.S. who are raised in single mother homes have participated in a violent crime.
Right, so that's the overall issue I'm getting at. This may be an anomaly, but more likely than not, it isn't. It's part of a statistic, which is the real issue is, why are there so many women being raped? Not what is behind the individual cases, because yes, there may be an anomaly out of 10 cases, but those other 9 cases are going to follow the norm of why they're rapists in the first place.
Correct. Do you think that it's the mother's fault, or do you think that perhaps it's, I don't know, the lack of a strong male in their life?
That's definitely the problem. The reason why we say feminism is a huge problem here is because the single mothers are, they're allowing, or they're the one, as we know from statistics, that women initiate the majority of the divorces. Like, women usually contend that, oh, this guy's a bad guy, and I married some monster, and now he went out and committed a crime. I had nothing to do with it. Or, the child I'm raising is perfectly fine. But we know, since women are initiating these divorces, they're creating the environment for their child to be without a father. They're separating their child from a father. And if they ever contend that, oh, this guy's an alcoholic or abusive, therefore I had to separate, we contend, well, why is this woman even picking this guy? She's the one responsible for picking this this guy that she now calls an asshole or an irresponsible deadbeat dad or an alcoholic or a drug addict, she willingly chose to be in a relationship with this guy. She chose this dangerous man, supposedly, for her kid. It was her decision to do that. So if feminism gives women so much more choice, why is it creating so many more problems? Why are single women now, I'm sorry, not single women, but single mothers, when the dad's out of the picture, now they're raising felons? It just shows women are incompetent without men.
Well, once again, it goes back to the fact that you're not going to have a father in the house, so you're going to be below the poverty line 9 times out of 10. And so, the mother's not in the house.
Yeah, but again, by choice, the women are kicking men out of their houses.
Okay, but, I'm not sure about you, but I know that for myself and for other people I know, not everybody you meet is going to be upfront and honest with you from the get-go. It takes a while to get to know somebody, and unfortunately there are a lot of stupid people. There's stupid men and there's stupid women out there.
Okay, so your claim would be, people aren't upfront with you, so you were duped. Again, even more reason, if you get into a relationship and you were duped, that's even more reason for women not to be in leadership positions. That's even more reason for us to say that feminism is a damaging influence on women, because feminism says that you are adults, that you are smart enough to make your own decisions, that you should be responsible for the partners you choose. But you're telling us, I'm duped. This guy was dubious. I didn't know what was going on. He was misleading me. He was lying. Well, if that's the case, then you're not qualified to lead anything. You shouldn't have any say over who you're allowed to date or marry, because you've already demonstrated by your own argument that women aren't qualified to lead their own lives. They're incompetent when they make their decisions.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, and I would love to be able to continue that part of the debate, but unfortunately, I obviously was not prepared to sit here and argue.
You weren't prepared to argue.
Hold on. You're interrupting me. I'm so sorry. I was here to talk about this particular rape case and rape.
Right, we are talking about, you brought up the issue. I'm only answering the issue that you brought up.
I want to clarify the point. You made the claim that the reason why rape exists, especially with the India case, was because of poverty. Poverty had a big play. I made the claim, or she made the claim? She made the claim. Right, she made the claim. Okay. Right. But now, we don't know. First off, we don't know anything about the rapers.
Correct.
The rapists. So we don't know what their socioeconomic status is. I don't know if they're poor. I don't know if they're rich. So how do we know that poverty played a part in this particular case? Since you want to.
How do we know that their family situation played a case in this?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The case itself is only like it's a springboard to the bigger issue, which is the rapes, the frequency of the rapes, the sexual assaults that are happening, not just a particular case. That's why we shouldn't just be arguing one particular case, because it could be so many other factors that are influencing this. So we have to look at the bigger picture, the culture of sexual assault, the culture of rape. That is the larger issue. That's why we're covering this issue. And when you brought up that women are deceived when they're making their choices about who they want to be a partner with in a relationship, I'm answering you. This has everything to do with the issue, so you should definitely be prepared to argue this. Why would you not? Why would you come here and not be prepared to argue this?
Well, I'll tell you what I researched. What I ended up researching had basically to do with American statistics, and I don't know if you're in the States or not, but what I did do, and there is a benefit to what you were saying about single mother homes. There are higher odds for incarceration, crime, sex and pregnancy underage, child abuse, and having child protective services involved,
right.
Drug and alcohol abuse, obesity, and a lack of education.
Right.
But not every single mother has just a cookie cutter story.
Right.
Not every single woman who got into a relationship or decided to hop into bed with some guy had the same exact situation.
Right.
You really don't know. And I will tell you, and this is the one little bit of personal identification I'll give you, is my father passed away when I was 12. And fortunately, I've got 3 older brothers who looked out for me very, very well.
Right.
I've never became a statistic. However, you just don't ever know. Maybe something happened to their father. I mean, a lot of people work in, hands-on jobs where you can get injured.
We're not commenting on widowers, but look, even if we're taking a widower's case, let's say a woman had a husband who, look at the Second World War, where men went off to battle, and the women were at home raising children. No father around. That's a very abnormal environment for a child. So that is going to create some of the problems we see today. The reason is I mean, you could talk about, reasons as big as war to women making bad decisions, but the core issue is still the same. Whenever you remove the man from the household and just let the women raise the children, you come up with problematic children. You come up with felons. You come up with criminals. So that shows women are incompetent on their own. They need men, whereas feminism is reinforcing the message that you don't need men. Lesbian couples can raise children. Anybody can raise a child. Gay people can raise a child. Anybody can raise a child.
I never signed up for the feminist movement. Believe me, I understand what my benefits are and my weaknesses. I'm not at all arguing.
Well, if you understood that, we wouldn't even be having this argument, because you'd realize you're not even in a position to argue. My brain power, I mean, the guy's brain power compared to women's brain power, it's worlds apart. We're way smarter than you. But yet we're not even allowed to say that. That's politically incorrect to even say that in society. I mean, if I said I'm smarter than a woman, she would get so offended, so butthurt, and say, oh my God, how dare you, you're a misogynist pig. The media, everybody tells me, schools tell me, universities tell me that we're both equally intelligent. I'm emotionally intelligent. You're some other form of intelligence, whatever euphemism they're using for female intelligence. But the truth of the matter is, men are much more smarter than women. I mean, this is the problem with even women being online, because just like guys who are emasculated and don't have a spine and can't defend their views and put their views under public scrutiny, everybody's a keyboard warrior. Everybody makes hardcore arguments when they never have to defend their views. Just like, I'm sure if we looked at your comments, I'm sure we'd see conviction behind your keyboard comments that we don't see in the debate right here. I mean, I say we should look at your comments and we'll see female incompetence. We'll see a strong argument presented with conviction that you've typed, that feminism has encouraged you to type, because you're a strong, independent woman. You can compete with a man. If a man makes an argument, no problem. You should be able to come right back and say your argument. I see we'll see that typed argument, and it'll sound like a strong argument with conviction, where you believe these things and you have the intellectual acumen to defend that position. And then now, right here on cam, it's almost like you're on our side, or you're conciliatory, when you might be resentful, or just be like, have so many disagreements, but yet you can't even intelligently voice those disagreements.
Well, you put that very eloquently. I'm sure that I have been misled.
Misled how? Misled how specifically? What do you mean?
I'm sure I've been misled by all these awful feminists, though, and society, and the things they've, brought to me, and I'm sure that I've learned a lot of misinformation through my life. A lot of people have, and, I'm not sitting here comparing apples to oranges. I'm sure you're a lot smarter than a lot of people. I'm sure that some women are smarter than some
why? But then I ask you, since you recognize these things, so you claim, why would you even have the audacity or the nerve to present your argument, your written argument, and say, hey, I'm a smart woman, I can easily contend against that? Why would you even have the will to do that?
I came here under the guise that we were speaking about this one thing in particular.
Right.
Which is this particular rape case. Not rape in general, not feminism in general. I did plenty of my research on you guys. And
so you thought we just were going to argue every single individual case?
That's why I was invited.
Okay. So what about this particular case, even though we don't know the backgrounds of everybody, so it'd be really irrelevant to even think about arguing this case other than what was already presented in the newspaper.
Well, I figured I'd at least show up here. I was called all sorts of names, and I wasn't...
Yeah, but what did you say? Let's hear what you said in return. Let's hear what you said that instigated this debate.
Well, it's been erased from Reddit, though.
It's been... You don't have it in your own history? Is that what you're telling me? Your own comment history. You don't have access to your own comment history? You're telling me it's erased?
I do. It deletes it.
Who deletes it? Yes, I'm familiar with it. You don't have your comment history deleted. You have access to all your comments.
All right. I'm going to check again, but I'm pretty darn sure it's not here.
I am pretty darn sure there's no way they can delete your comments. They can delete them from the board or the thread, but you have all access to all your own comments. Any comment you made, you have access to it.
Well, I understand.
Can you comment on poverty? She mentioned poverty. Can you comment on poverty and feminism, single motherhood?
With women in the workforce taking money out of men's pockets, it's no stretch of the imagination to assume that both genders are going to be in trouble financially, because now you have so many competitive relationships. You have men versus women in the job force, when really it should be men bringing home the bacon to support women. But they can't do that now, because feminism says, oh, you can work, you can You can make your own wages. You have access to the job market now. Go ahead and compete against men. You're just as good as men. You should get paid the same as men. Go ahead. Women don't work in the same jobs as men. They don't work in the same demanding positions. They don't work the same long hours as men, and yet they're still demanding the same pay. They want convenience equality. Women don't really want equality. They got equality in England today, or just recently. The insurance premiums of women were raised up to the same level as men, so now women actually have to pay the same amount as men, and insurers can't discriminate based on gender. And women are pissed off about that. The female equality MP, she was so indignant. I can't believe it. Men are worse drivers than women statistically. Therefore, these discounts are justified. Women should get the discount. So then you look at the wage gap argument and you see, well, men work longer hours in more demanding jobs. 95% of the workplace fatalities are male in nature. So women aren't pulling their share in the job market, and statistically speaking, they get paid exactly what they're worth. They get paid 77 cents for every dollar that a man makes. That's according to statistics. So why do women have a problem with this and shout, oh, we need equality, we need equal pay across the board, and yet suddenly it doesn't apply with driving premiums where women don't get their benefits or their privileges anymore? It's the entitlement mentality of feminism. Women are entitled to everything. They don't have to work for it or earn it like men do. Does that answer your question? I don't know if it fully answers the poverty issue, but we wouldn't be in this poverty situation to the degree that it creates if we had relationships. Relationships alleviate the poverty issue. Whenever you have individual people trying to compete for resources, it's like the difference between, say, 4 individuals buying 4 cars, creating more of a demand on natural resources because they have to produce 4 cars, versus a family of 4 people who use 1 car.
All right.
Now multiply that across the nation, and you have a huge problem with feminism.
May I make a suggestion then?
Yes, go ahead.
Because this is not what I initially came to talk about. Shall we wait until there are more facts that come out about this particular case, and then I'd be more than happy to join you again?
Number one, you don't have the brain power to even be having this debate. You've demonstrated that you're not even prepared for this debate. Okay. I mean, the perfect example of this, of what I was speaking about, that you don't even realize. This is how little brain power you have. In the chat room, you're super snarky and super condescending with your comments, like you're a smart intellectual person. And yet when you're put on the spot and you're called to account for your views and defend your views and have them put under public scrutiny, suddenly you say, oh, I'm not prepared for the debate, I'm not prepared. What happened to all your girl power in the chat room? You were so gung ho, woo, I can do it, I can be plumb. And now, well, you have your comment history. When you were talking in the chat room, you were making snarky, condescending remarks. And now suddenly, oh, I'm not prepared, I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, well,
I have your comments here. They're recorded in the chat room archive.
I'm sure they are.
I can read them back to you if you really want. I mean, it would be embarrassing if I read them back to you.
I'm not arguing.
You're here to argue. That's my point. You're here to argue. You're only arguing when you don't have to be accountable. That is my point. That is the whole point of this entire debate. That is the whole point of the rape issue. Women want privileges without accountability. You want to say things without being held accountable for them. This is why we have these debates in the first place, to show people that being accountable for what they say.
It was my point. That girl did not deserve to be raped.
You know what? I don't think she deserved to be raped either. But guess what? Guess who raped her? Women. Women raped her. The men were the instrument. The men were the gun. The women pulled the trigger. So to blame the men is ridiculous. Yeah. Right. Oh, now you're ready to argue. You're all set? You got your intellectual beans on? You finally got some brain cells. You're ready to argue now. You're ready to debate now.
I'm just laughing. This is funny.
I know it's funny. The truth is often funny to people who are less intelligent and don't understand it. I'm trying to explain this to you. I thought I just explained this to you. Don't the single mothers produce most of these rapists and criminals? So if the men are raping, aren't they the gun in the hand of the woman who is pulling the trigger, the single mother who's pulling the trigger? Are you so dumb that you don't grasp this correlation?
I get it.
You get it now? So that's funny to you that women created, it's funny to you that women created rapists who went out and raped this little girl and now she's dead. That's hilarious to you. So that's why you're laughing. You're laughing because you don't think women should be held accountable. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think that any mother ever has a child with the hopes that they become a rapist.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they don't either, but they're so incompetent, just like you, they don't realize what they're doing. Just like when you're in the chat room type, I'm so smart, I'm so intelligent, you don't realize what you're doing, and then you come in here and you look like an idiot. It's the same principle. Not being accountable for your actions. Single mothers, they raise these criminals. It's not me. I don't know what happened. He's on his own. Who do you think raised him? The single mother. She's at fault. What's that?
His dad.
She divorced him. She chose the divorce.
Not necessarily. Sometimes
most relationships, the women initiates divorce. Look it up. Women divorce. If women initiate divorces,
even if your statistics are true, there's a plethora of reasons to have to leave somebody. What about the father's accountability and not being there?
Okay, some men do leave, but guess what? Again, more often than not, women initiate the breakup of these relationships. So if they're the ones creating their own fate, creating their own dangerous environment for their sons and daughters, why shouldn't they be held accountable? It's just like saying, well, I put my son on a boat with no life preserver out in the ocean with no skipper and he drowned. I should be held accountable. He's the one steering. He was the one on the boat. No, you should be held accountable because you're the adult. The adult should be accountable for the minor that she's raising who drowned. The women who are raising these criminals should be held accountable. Look at classic example. Charles Manson, should he be in prison?
Well, was he a minor or was he an adult?
He's an adult. He's an adult. Should he be in prison?
Yeah.
Oh, so he should be in prison. He didn't kill anybody, though.
He persuaded people to.
Oh, wait. So he's responsible for somebody else's actions. Is that what you're telling me? Because he was behind them, he should be in jail. Is that what you're telling me?
Actually, he's already, if you go back and look at some of the interviews he's given, he knows he should be in jail.
Oh, okay. But you also think he should be in jail because he masterminded the operation, right?
I guess so.
Oh, you guess so. Okay. So when a single mother is raising a criminal, a junior rapist, who should be who should be ultimately held accountable? Tell me that. Take your time. Take your time.
Society at large.
Society. Not the woman. Again, not the woman. She should have have a get out of jail free card. No accountability whatsoever.
I guess you're right because, men had nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Are you being sarcastic or stupid?
No.
Which is it?
No, I'm a good Christian. I honestly believe that, maybe.
So you said men had nothing to do with this? You honestly believe that men had nothing to do with this whatsoever?
Probably not. That poor girl raped herself.
So you don't believe that's sarcasm? You're an idiot and you can't tell the difference between a sarcastic answer and a real and a stupid answer? You think your sarcasm qualifies as a valid answer? I mean, we obviously know you're an idiot and you're being sarcastic. If you're a Christian, you just claimed you're a Christian and you just told a lie because obviously you just said that girl, you said that girl raped herself. That's obviously a sarcastic answer. That's a lie. Why would you claim you're a Christian and then tell me a blatant lie like that?
You know what? You've educated me, obviously.
Right, and you're obviously a Christian, so you don't tell lies, and now you're unable to tell the truth about this rape case. What? Startling. Does the Bible teach you to be sarcastic? Is that what it tells you? Thou shalt be sarcastic and give stupid bitch answers? Is that what it tells you? Which verse is that? Is that Proverbs 9:13? A foolish woman is silly and knows nothing. Is that verse you're talking about?
It could be.
Oh, it could be. Or the one in the other one in 1st or 2nd Timothy where it tells that a woman shouldn't be teaching anything because she's mindless, just like you've demonstrated. Is that the one you're talking about? Might be. So you're prepared with sarcasm, but not with intelligence for this debate. Is that what you're saying? You came with a whole arsenal of sarcasm, but no actual brain power to argue.
Obviously with an arsenal of sarcasm.
Well, how?
Listen.
I mean, you can make sarcastic comments, but I don't necessarily see how they're going to translate into valid points.
So far away from what I came here to talk about was this particular case.
Right, but you have to have intelligence to talk about this case. Let's hear your intelligent view. I'm going to stop. Hold on. I'm going to stop for 2 or 3 minutes to let you intelligently state your view on this particular case. Go ahead. I'm going to stop. Go ahead.
Obviously, there's no way I can ever convince you I'm intelligent from what I've gathered from you. I understand that. So it's really a moot point in having any of these conversations with you. I've really tried to humor you guys.
Well, it's not. It's Jen. It's the point here is not to humor us or to prove that you're intelligent to. She's so intelligent. She relies on sarcastic humor. She's so indignant. She's so above us with her intellect. She's convinced that we can't be convinced.
There's nothing I can say. No, there's nothing
I'm giving you an opportunity right now to present your intelligent view. By the way, it doesn't matter what I think. It'll ultimately matter what the audience thinks because the audience will be chiming in on your point. So it behooves you to present an intelligent point for the audience's sake, not for my sake. Do it for the audience that wants to hear your intelligent view.
I guess I'm not going to be able to. So I would like to go ahead and this one's all on you. You won.
I know I won. You proved that you're too dumb to even debate. You came here unprepared, completely unprepared to debate. You just relied on your sarcasm and that little bitch husband you have at home who's been telling you how wonderfully intelligent you are. That's why you thought you could debate me. And now that you're here, you can't even get your intelligent, so-called intelligent argument out when I give you full opportunity to present it for the public to judge. Forget about me. Why does the public deserve your intelligent argument? Why don't you present it for the public?
They don't.
They don't?
No.
Convince the public.
Congratulations.
All right, so Jen, are you conceding?
Congratulations.
She's tapping out, Blue.
Absolutely, I concede.
All right. Well, Jen, first I just want to thank you for coming to the debate here. Even though you conceded, I think it was educational. I think a lot of women should listen to this debate. Plum, do you have any last comments?
Yes. I'd like to say, booyah! 4 or 5 in a row, I've lost count. When I see a woman on the other side of the screen, I just think, should I sleep during the debate and give her at least a chance? I mean, these are nonsensical. When a woman, the thing I love is that women will type their hearts out in chat rooms and in message boards and present themselves as actual intellectuals with a brain who can coherently reason and rationally come up with these arguments. And they always accuse the other side of just being stupid, misguided, ignorant, misogynistic men that hate women. But as you can see in these debates, when it's come time to present an intelligent viewpoint, women can't do it. So sorry. This is why they created kitchens. Women, kitchens, men. What should men be doing? Yeah, doing the thinking and the leading. Exactly my point. Any chick look at open challenge. Any chick who thinks they have the balls or the brains to debate a real man, get the fuck in here and let's get it the fuck on. But we've proven time and time again, every single debate, women, brain power, 0. Go make a fucking cookie. Anything else that needs to be said?
Well, she already left.
Oh, okay. Does that count as a rage quit? Does somebody win the bet?
I think technically it's a rage.
I think technically I didn't get to shake her hand at the end, Flo, or I didn't get to touch her nipples at the end. I think that counts as a rage quit.
I think so.
I'm going to count that as a rage quit. That's 3 in a row. Three chick rage quits in a row.
Yes.
Can we get some? Let's go, Blue. You're supposed to go to audience reaction.
All right, Poser. What did you think about this thing?
Yes. Just to let you know, there's a girl in the audience.
Oh, let's get Pinata next with his whole crew over there.
All right. We'll start with Poser.
Go, Poser.
All right. I'll debate on her behalf a little bit.
Oh, great. You're gonna be the chick. You're gonna play the chick. Okay, great.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just some clarification because I didn't quite see how single moms was directly related to the culture in India, like the raping. Some reasons I could see is, yeah, sure, in India, women are working too now. So there's not, the mother is not at home to supervise.
Isn't India the place where they have female-only cars?
Yes, yes.
Right. Isn't India the place where they have that game show where men get emasculated and a bitch slapped the contestant slapped her back, and then all these white knights rush the stage and beat this guy for having the audacity to stand up for himself?
Oh, okay, yes.
So is this the culture? Is this the culture of emasculated faggots that we're talking about here?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Case closed. Go read the ebook. Next, let's go to Pinata.
Pinata.
The only comment that I want to say is that I do remember this girl yesterday stating that Professor Plum was going to feel it.
I couldn't wait to feel it.
Being all sarcastic, and yet she comes in the chat room, in the debate, and she asks for sympathy.
I'm not prepared. I don't know what to do.
What the fuck? If she's going to come in here and debate, then debate, but just don't back out when you're in here. Right. Like my friend said, she's making all women look stupid.
I think we proved that women are stupid. What? How have we not proved that?
It's not true.
Oh, it's not?
I think women have the same ability to be as smart as men.
Right. Oh, that's awesome. Are you ready? Are we ready to continue this debate?
I'm not ready for
Are you signed up for a debate? Because we can definitely get it on. If you want to prove just how smart you are, I'd love to debate you into the ground.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so that's just an unfounded claim.
I don't have any facts whatsoever.
Exactly my point. No facts whatsoever.
You're so ignorant that you're not willing to listen because you just...
Oh, I'm slow and ignorant. Then why don't you debate me since you're such a genius? Why don't you come and debate me?
You're planning on being such a douche right away.
Douche. Why don't you debate me? Come on, we still got time. We just started. You could step in for a place.
No, I'm not.
You're not. You're gonna call me a douche and say I'm mean to you. Wah. He's mean. Wah. He won't listen. Wah. You got the middle finger. Okay, so you got your middle finger up. Congratulations. Can we hear from?
That's what she has to say.
You got any other intelligent people over there? AKA men.
Eddie, you want to say something? Eddie doesn't. My friend's boyfriend doesn't want to say.
What?
Something.
Come on. We want to hear his. Just get his opinion on over here. Let's hear his opinion about the debate. Let's hear your opinion. What did you think about the debate?
You murdered that girl, man.
I'm sorry. Speak up. We can't hear you. We want to hear it.
I said you murder that girl.
Did I rape her or did I murder her?
You murdered her.
I think it was a murder-rape, actually.
Bullshit.
Okay. Any reason why you thought it was a murder-rape?
She had no idea what she was saying, honestly. I mean,
she didn't have any proof to back up
exactly
what she was saying.
Unlike that genius over there to your left, right? Unlike that other chick who has a lot of proof, right? Okay. Blue, we're done with comedy. Let's go ask some other.
All right, let's
You're mean. Professor Plum is mean.
Hey,
Guys are mean.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get her mom.
All right, Chili, what'd you think about the debate?
Yes, I have one point. Professor Plum said that it's women who are to blame for the raping, but it's really, he said it's women who actually rapes whatever the situation was. It was women's fault. But it's really,
I was using a little hyperbole. I didn't literally mean the women took their penises out. Okay.
But it's really the men who allow it to happen.
Well, there you go.
It's still the men's fault.
Well, but look at those men who allow it to happen. Who are they raised by? Who are the men that are allowing it to happen? Who are they raised by?
The mothers, but it's the men.
Whoa, what? Who? What type of mothers? What type of mothers?
The single mothers.
Oh, the single mothers raise the manginas who are setting the legal policies here that are allowing this rape culture to even exist. Is that what you're telling me?
But it's the men that allowed these women to make the laws.
Those men that allow these women to influence the laws, who are these men raised by?
Single mothers.
Oh.
There's men around that allow single mothers to raise the children.
Right, those are those fathers that leave, or like we said, that in a natural situation, world wars, where men go off and are killed, and there's a single mother raising, regardless of the reason, whether the woman kicks the man out, or the man dies in a war. If you have women raising your men, future men, if you have women raising boys by themselves, women are not competent enough to raise children by themselves. They always need a male influence. Otherwise, you end up with the culture we have today.
Right.
Why is it that men don't stand up and actually raise these children by themselves instead of allowing these?
Well, guess what? The court system. I'll tell you why. Hey, okay, genius. I'll tell you why. Listen, there's a case today. A guy's video. He just sent it. We posted in our visitor center. 2 videos. One video. The chick, he's got the camera like this, so you see her on camera. It's facing her. She comes up and punches him in the face, assaults him, whatever, tries to cut him. Okay, that's video number 1. Okay, shut your mouth so I can make a point, so you can learn something. All right. So she gets up in his face, assaults this guy, he catches on camera, right? Then another video, he gets a confession about her molesting children. Who does the family court system? Who do you think the judge awards the child to? The man or the woman?
Well, of course, they're always going to give it to the woman.
Oh, of course. They're always going to give it to the woman. Oh, I see. So in these cases that where you get custody involved, the women once again think they're competent, and yet they fuck up again. Oh, makes sense.
You have to raise the child yourself.
I'm sorry, what?
If we've proved it in court that you men can raise children themselves, so what is there?
I'm sorry. So you think that women assaulting their husbands or boyfriends on camera and confessing to child molestation are in a position, are qualified to raise children, so they should get custody. That's your intelligent rationalization?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, what are you saying? Because it makes no sense what you're saying.
Because it doesn't make sense. It all depends on the judge, okay?
Oh, depends on the judge, okay. I didn't realize there was all kinds of different judges in family courts, and they just take a quarter and they flip it in the air, right? They just flip it in the air, right? Just 50-50. Men gets it this time, woman gets it this time, right?
So okay, what proof did the father have that she molested the kids?
Maybe her own confession that we just posted, that I just told you about 2 seconds ago?
Yeah, and they gave her the kids, right? Then why would you allow her to raise them?
Maybe because family courts are biased towards women, like you already admitted yourself.
I know they are.
So if you know that, why would you even ask? If you know that, why would you ask me?
Because men won't step up themselves and fucking take the
Men won't step up, yet you just said that family courts are going to award the children to women. So even if men were going to step up, like this father who's fighting to get his child back, how is he fucking going to get her back when the court already legally granted custody to the woman? To the single mommy now.
Well, what happens if he takes the children?
Well, then he goes to jail.
There you go.
It's called kidnapping.
Yeah, now it's called taking your own kid, kidnapping. giving it to a child molesting, assaulting woman is good parenting in her eyes. Any other intelligent arguments you got?
Then that means the system is fucked up, and we all know
Yeah, no kidding. Who do you think fucked up the system? Feminists like you who thought they were intelligent and proved otherwise.
Yeah, Professor.
Yeah, well, I'm still ready to debate you. You're such a genius. Why don't you walk circles around me? You know you're smarter than me. Come on, prove it. Let's go.
She gave up, Professor.
She tapped out again. Too mean. Let me ask her a question. Is her pussy wet from arguing with me? Ask her that. Is it wet from arguing with me? Yes or no? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Is your pussy wet from arguing with me? Tell the truth. Ask her to tell the truth. Is it wet?
You wish it was wet.
Check with your hand. Put your hand down there and check. Yes, I want to see. Put it on camera. Put that camera down there. I want evidence. I know you're a liar, and I know your pussy's wet from arguing with me, and I'm going to prove it right now. I'm Perry Mason. I'm Columbo. I'm Scooby-Doo. I'm Sherlock Holmes. I solved the mystery. Your pussy's wet, and you're ashamed to admit it. I'll put money. I got fucking... Hold on. Wait, hold on. I got a whole...
Now you're mean, and she runs back to her boyfriend.
I got a whole jar of change. Tell her she can have all this cash. This is her whole allowance. She can have this entire change jar if she shows her pussy and it's not wet. If your pussy's not wet after arguing with me, you get all this cash right here. That's got to be a good $70 right there. Thought so.
All right. Let's go to Lil B, Lil Bitch.
No longer little bitch. Little boring.
Little boring. Okay.
I'm real boring now. I graduated.
Apologize for ruining your name. So, what are your thoughts, feelings, reactions? What do you think about the debate?
Oh God, I felt like I was watching an episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I mean, I didn't take it seriously at all because this lady was she was very stupid. She had no direction. She didn't know what the hell she was talking about, and she was kind of straying away from her original argument. And it was like watching a father like educate or like scold at their little daughter.
By the way, I have her comments from the original Reddit post where she claims were deleted. She's lying. I don't want to take the time to pull them up and interrupt the debate, but I saw those comments earlier today, so I know they're still there. She's full of shit.
Yeah, completely full of shit, and I didn't take her seriously at all.
She was like, no, you're stupid, blah, blah, blah. Had her attitude, said she was smart, she was an intellectual, blah, blah, blah. She wants to debate me. Oh, now she's not prepared. Who's next?
Wait, Reed, can you talk? Reed.
Reed's dead. Go on to mystery.
Okay, we have, Mr.
E. Go.
Yeah, Mr. E.
During the debate, Jen asserted that, women shouldn't be responsible for their relationship choices. Plum, to what extent do you believe that women versus men should be responsible in their relationship choices?
I think they should both be equally accountable for their relationship choices under feminism. But obviously, men shoulder all the accountability for relationship choices under feminism. That is the problem. In a functional relationship, men, because we're smarter, faster, more capable than women, would shoulder the accountability because women would be submissive to us. They'd be under our protection. And because they're under our protection and we have authority over them, that means we bear the brunt of the accountability. The accountability falls on our shoulders if there's a problem in the relationship. That's the way it should be. But number one, men aren't trained to be held accountable for relationships. The men today are essentially emasculated white knights. They're like women right now, pretty much in their functioning. I should say in their dysfunction. So they're not qualified to even lead a relationship at this point. So if you put that responsibility on them for the entire relationship like they do now, they're completely unprepared to manage that responsibility. In an ideal world, the man would be trained to bear that responsibility just like we train the guys here. Just like if you had a father who was in a normal relationship with your mother and he was in charge of that relationship, that would be the model for you to learn how to take care of a woman and be in charge of a woman in your own relationship. But since we don't have that normal relationship model today, we have this so-called equal relationship. We both get a hand on the steering wheel and both drive at the same time. That always fucking leads to disaster. That's why we have the huge divorce rate today.
Thank you. Reed, what do you think? Reed?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah. What about... Okay. Obviously when the debate started, I was expecting this, rude, really, I guess, some lady that was really sure of what she was saying. I expected her to be more aggressive in what she was going to say in her arguments. But when I started listening to her, she just sounded so apologetic. She didn't sound like she was sure what she was saying. And even eventually during the debate, she was siding with Professor Plum. So I was honestly tuning out during the debate. I wasn't listening to the debate. I was listening to Professor Plum talk to this lady, and it was what boggled my mind the most was that she was chatting and she was setting herself up for a debate, like she knew what she was saying. And then she comes here and she's not even ready to say anything. She's setting with Plum, so that just stuff to me.
That pretty much demonstrates female intelligence right there. Tough talk in the chat, on forums, online, on the internet. But when push comes to shove and they're actually called to be accountable, again, accountability is what we stress here. When they're called to be accountable for their views, tap out instantly.
Yes.
And that's what I was.
By the way, can we get everybody else to mute their mic because we got somebody sniffing cocaine in their microphone? Thanks.
Blue Stingray wanted to say something.
Oh yeah, let's hear from Stingray.
Stingray, I forgot about you. Stingray, please.
Yeah, dude. First of all, I'd like to say I am really happy to be part of this historical debate.
It's like the Boston Tea Party.
I hope like later in textbooks this debate will be referenced.
The clown debate? What are we going to call this? The day the chick tapped out?
The great demonstration. Because,
Rage quit number 4?
Yeah, because this was not only, I mean, when you think of a debate, you think of like ideas being presented, but what this was a typical female not only showing her ideas are retarded, but the actual way that they can't enforce or be accountable for anything. So
yeah. I like how she talks stuff online when she doesn't have to be accountable, but all of a sudden it's almost like she was on my side in the beginning. I had to actually provoke her, because I knew she was full of shit, and I knew she wanted to argue, but I have to provoke her almost, and make absurd arguments almost, just to draw her out, draw out her real opinions.
Yeah, she acted like the fact that she wasn't even going to argue, like, so you couldn't attack her position, but the very fact that she wouldn't argue and she was unable is
it's part of the problem there. It's all part of feminism. These things are all linked. I only want to talk about this one case.
Yeah.
Mansion.
So,
go ahead.
One clarification that in my understanding, like, so the rape in India, like, you're saying it's more with the feminist emasculation rather than single moms?
Mansion, are you there?
I am here.
All right, great.
Were you able to see the debate?
I came into at the tail end of the debate, and I noticed that she was very submissive towards the end there, and it was really weird. I thought I was going to come in. I didn't want to hear an argument today, but then I psyched myself up, came into the debate, and I was ready for words. And then there was nothing. She was just kind of there, and I was.
I concede, sir.
Tapped her out really quick, and I wanted to say one thing about what the other girl said at Piana's room. It was just really interesting when Plum brought the case up about the custody of the kid. How she immediately went to the courts. Well, what did the court say? What did the court say? And when you go, it's just what feminism tries to do. They try to make all kinds of laws about how do you control people's behavior rather than using common sense. Which
she can't even think for herself and present an intelligent argument. She's like, what did the authority in charge, what did the feminist court system say?
Right. It's just like you say in the ebook. It's just like what you said in the ebook.
It's exactly
what you said.
We're basing this on real life. This chick who just tried to argue with us, argue with me, you know for sure she's going to the bathroom with at least 3 or 4 chicks. Anybody that needs to go to the bathroom with more than one person, not qualified to argue with me. Skyfall.
Yeah, Skyfall.
I thought it was awesome just because we got 2 examples of female intelligence in one.
2 for 1. 2 for 1 deal. Thank Pinata's friend for the 2 for 1 deal.
Because on the first part, you started talking to her, and then you started debating, and she kind of started off a little bit trying to go against you, and then she just realized, oh wow, I have no argument at all. And towards the end, she started getting all sarcastic with you. And then fast forward to Pinata's girl, and you clearly just stomped all over whatever little logic she thought she had. And then she's, oh, you're a pussy, oh, blah, blah, blah. This,
wait, don't forget the middle finger, that all important, all powerful trumping argument, the middle finger.
Too.
Yeah, there you go. She's demonstrating again. I can't hear you with a mic off. Ma'am, there you go. Go ahead, say your piece now. Yeah, that intelligent argument. Are you showing your age, your IQ, or what? What does that represent?
My IQ and my age. Oh, it's negative.
Right. Are you still wet? I still want to see. I'm still waiting. Okay. Keep going. Sorry, Skyfall.
Professor, it's cool.
Okay. Skyfall, you still there? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay.
I'm tapping out.
Blue, you want to conclude this? We got another one. We got back to back.
I think Lunatic wants to come in and debate.
Yeah, he's next. You're next.
All right, hold on.
Fuck, this is gonna be back to back. I don't know if I'm ready, Blue. This next one's gonna be a boring religious debate.
You want to take a 10-minute break?
Let me take a 5-minute, just a stretch. This guy's already ready. He's raring to go. You can get him in here, but I'm gonna take a 5-minute stretch. Ugh.
As much as I want to stay, I gotta go, guys.
Okay. Blue, do you want to conclude this debate, and then we'll start the next one? You want to give a final word?
I just want to say that this was a great debate. This was educational. I just thought, it was educational for guys to listen, because she had for her to even have the courage to come into a debate and not have a debate at all is telling. And,
imagine how audacious, how the balls on this bitch to be that dumb to come into a debate and not have any position. Like, you could tell she's so used to coming into rooms, in university rooms where, academicians that are telling her she's so intelligent and so thoughtful and her opinions matter so much. She's not used to any guy telling her, that's stupid, that's retarded, makes sense, be accountable for your views. Nobody has told her that for her whole entire adult life. She just expected me to say, how do you want to debate? Okay, that's a great position.
Right.
Yeah, she wanted sympathy in a debate.
We don't have bottles at these debates, sorry.
That's it. That concludes debate number 1. We are getting ready for debate number 2. I hope everyone stays tuned.